Hello, everybody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to Frog Wrestling. Happy New Year. It's been a while since we were last all gathered here for some Wednesday wrestling, but we're here. We're ready to do this thing. We're ready to kick it off. And while it has been a while, I see you in the chat. I see that you're here. I see that you made it. We don't have time to waste a lot of words tonight. We have to get right to it. Because for the next couple weeks, we are going to be building to the biggest free preview we've ever had as we bring season 1 of Frog Wrestling to a close. That's right. If you missed the last Pawn News update, well, then I'm happy you're here because I don't know how you heard about it otherwise. But if you missed it, we're going to be going through the month of February. Each week, we're going to be here, more Frog Wrestling, just like always. We're building to the biggest free preview we've ever had. Every title on the line, every wrestler participating, a big blowout to the end of the season. And then we're taking March off as we move over to the new version, WWE 2K24. As we import everybody over, we start over, a fresh season 2 beginning at that point. But we got to get there first. And what a road we have to go, because I have decided if everybody's going to participate, if everybody is going to get a chance to move forward and do something big, well, then we should give everybody a chance. That's exactly what we should do. What better way than to let everybody participate in a tournament for the Frog Pants Championship? This is going to include every single wrestler on the roster. More importantly, not only is everyone, save the title holder, that would be me, participating, but it is 100% random. And I mean this genuinely. I took the entire roster and I randomly put them in these matches, in these brackets. It's not seeded at all. This is 100% random. This means that allies could be fighting off against one another. It means teams may fall apart before this is over. And in the case of one Patrick Beja, who drew the maybe lucky, maybe unlucky number, he is going to be a participant turning one of our matches into a triple threat match instead of a one-on-one. He happened to draw that would be the first match of the night. I have a hair. That's gross. That was bugging me the entire time. It is mine. I'll tell you that. So our first match of the night is what was drawn. Again, it was all random. To be the triple threat match. All the others are 1v1s, normal rules, no special rules on this, just standard matches. But Patrick was chosen to be the random participant turning one of these matches into a triple threat match. And it turns out it's going to be our opening match tonight. So let me spoil those of you in chat on what to expect as we get our predictions for the first match of the night up. We begin the point betting. You've had time to build up your points. I still have streamed. Hopefully you've held on to them a little bit. And now it's time to throw them away. Let's get right to it. Our first match of the night is going to feature former Frog Wrestling champion and hopeful to reclaim his title, Scott Johnson, versus the Archfiend, Archfey himself, Diontalus, and luck of the draw in a triple threat match, Patrick Beja as a third opponent. Let's get the predictions going. Let's get this loading up as we get the match ready. Now, this is a standard triple threat match rule set. What that means is that there is only one winner. The first person to get a pin or submission victory wins the entire match. We'll have to see what that means, what that equates to. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I hope you are all excited too. Let's get right into it.
Gentlemen, I think a fight's about to break out.
It has been a few weeks since we saw any of these competitors, and in many ways it is extremely fitting to be opening with this man, Scott Johnson, former Frog Pants World Champion. Now, this is not necessarily a title defense, so I don't know if you look at the triple threat as a good thing or a bad. It gives him two different chances to win. It also gives him a road to lose that he isn't even participating in. But a victory here would certainly cement Scott as a strong contender going forward in this tournament. Or we might see his dreams crash very early.
Yeah, now we're talking.
And his opponents, first representing Pretty Deadly from wherever he wants, weighing in at 219 pounds, the Destroyer.
Matches like these, with talent of this caliber, this is why.
Now, Diontalus does not make frequent appearances, but he did recently make a run with Stanley Billings for the TMS Tag Team Championship. And if he wants to earn a more permanent place on the roster, this would be a good way to do it.
The look of focus and determination on his face. He wants to show the world that he can compete on this high level.
Diontalus has proven a formidable foe. It's certainly going to be a challenge right out of the gate. But don't count out Patrick Beja.
Weighing in at 235 pounds,
A longtime holder of the TMS tag title, along with Randy Jordan. He certainly had some clashes. Patrick is a dominant force. He has surprised many people. Let's take a look. Let's see how the predictions are going so far. Looks like right now Diontalus with a very slight lead, followed by Scott. People counting out Patrick a little bit, but I do think that's a mistake because Patrick has a way of winning, although off to a rough start for him as he tries to get involved and comes up short. Diontalus taking quick control of the match, managing to dominate both Scott and Patrick, though. Scott fighting back. This is definitely a road to redemption for Scott and Core Red. Scott has made his goal no secret. He wants Core Red to have all the gold. And most recently, they lost one of the few titles they had when Kim lost the Women's Championship. Patrick now finding a little momentum, finding a way to fight back. He is going off against two larger opponents. That has never slowed him down, though. And as you can see, he is holding his own just fine at the moment. Patrick proving why I said you shouldn't count him out. Oh, but Scott waiting with a giant boot. And another one. Scott's got feet for everybody. Patrick throws him out of the ring, though. Oh, this is not a good spot to be. Oh! Scientifically, mathematically, and 100% officially the hardest part of the ring. That edge right there. And Patrick, just brutal, seeing a little cooperation between him and Scott, though it's over quick. And Scott comes out ahead after that exchange. Keep in mind, with it being triple threat rules, there are no countouts. There's no danger of that in this case. Weapons are allowed. We saw the steps get used earlier. Oh, speaking of the steps, a suplex right near the edge there. Not sure if Diontalus made any contact with it, but that is not a good spot to be in. Patrick fighting his way out. Diontalus more than happy to just watch. Scott having a hard time making his mark in the ring. Another good reversal, but Patrick avoids any damage. Unfortunately, the same can't be said with Scott, and his head, I think, hit those steps. Oh my God, the steps just fell and clocked Patrick right in the face. I'm amazed he can stand, let alone fight. And he is continuing to put up a solid fight, despite looked absolutely brutal to see. He's not paying very good attention, though, and Scott is sneaking up with a kendo stick. Why are they kept under the ring? I don't know. What purpose do they serve outside of letting people grab them and hit each other with them? I don't know.
Oh, God. He's getting pushed out into the defensive. This should come as no surprise. In a havoc-filled triple threat, you're going to take some big hits.
Oh, my goodness. And Diontalus was ready for Scott, but Scott ready to reciprocate, fighting off both opponents now. And this stage in the match, this is what it's about. It's about wearing down all of the opponents so you can sneak in a pinfall or submission. And right now, it seems like they are pretty evenly matched. It really could go any way. Scott, though, finding a way to deal a lot of damage. Patrick happy to watch on, picking his moment, and he picked a good one. Diontalus stunned on the outside. Patrick going for a victory. Diontalus distracted. Scott able to kick out and stay alive. But that was nearly a victory for Patrick right there. Diontalus looking to hope and turn it around. But Scott, he don't want to get hit by a chair. There's a huge punch. And there it is, the TMS delivered expertly, but Patrick waiting to just unload with the kendo stick. I think Diontalus is down, but Patrick's still fighting. Scott needs to figure out what to do. He might have had the match won if Patrick had been out, but Patrick was ready to fight his way out of that. Scott in control at the moment. But right now he's got to solve the puzzle of how to keep both superstars down. And Diontalus with a tombstone pile driver caught Scott unawares and gets a 2 off of it. That could have been a victory right there. Patrick down on the outside. And right now we are entering that exact zone I was talking about. Every punch, every kick, every maneuver is going to keep your opponent down longer. It is just a matter of time before someone slips and is down and misses an opportunity. I don't know. Diontalus just phased through the ropes. And Diontalus unloading with the chair. Patrick back in the ring. Should really clear all those wood splinters out of the ring. Big knee busting Diontalus open. He's bleeding. Patrick rolls out of the ring. Diontalus in control at the moment. Scott trying to fight back. Looks like Diontalus was going for a choke slam. Good dodge from Patrick, who slams him down. Patrick now trying to build momentum for himself. Another chair shot. Scott's going to get out of there. Patrick's following him. Diontalus going after a big chair shot. Scott bleeding now. Both Scott and Diontalus cut open, bleeding, hurt. We have a brutal match to start things off here. And it is anybody's game at this point. Scott picking his moment. Letting that damage be dealt, although Diontalus not kept down from it. Scott grabs the chair. He's high. Oh, 2 chairs. A duel of chairs. And Patrick comes out ahead for the moment, although Scott quickly recovers. We have absolute chaos outside the ring right now. Patrick fighting a huge clothesline. Scott, the only one standing. He's daring Diontalus to his feet.
And he slides him back to the mat.
Diontalus has Patrick up, drops him right back down.
Taking those hits above the shoulders.
It's him again. Oh, right on the edge of those stairs. And Scott picks his moment. Just taunting him. Diontalus isn't going to stand for that, though. And honestly, at this point, it is impressive that any of them are standing, let alone have the strength to taunt one another. Patrick with the chair. Diontalus said bring it on, and Patrick was more than happy to do so. Scott has Diontalus up, drops him back down, and Patrick ready with the chair to follow up. Right now, they're just beating the hell out of each other. They do have to get in the ring to finish this. But right now, it is just a matter of who can hurt the other opponent the worst, and Scott is all by himself in the ring. Everyone's slowly finding their way back. Diontalus dives in. Scott's ready for him. Patrick jumps in to try and take advantage too. Reversal, Diontalus plants him. Scott ready for a follow-up. Diontalus in control, looking to end this in a big way. He has Scott up. Here it is, another tombstone. He lands it, but does he know that Patrick's in the ring? He does. Huge drop, goes for a pin on Patrick while Scott is out and only gets a 2. Scott up as well. And Scott is an absolute bloody mess at this point. Scott still in control in the ring. Patrick in to bring a chair, an equalizer, but Scott not fazed by it. Says, bring whatever you want in here. I can still dish out the pain. And he's going for it. The TMS, he lands it, plants him, goes for a pin, but Diontalus is ready to break it up. Triple threat, always a danger. You can't forget about the other man. That would have been a victory in any other sense. Little unintended cooperation between Patrick and Scott. Continuing to fight. Submission hold locked on. Scott manages a reversal. Diontalus blocking as well. Big leg drop, Diontalus. Is he gonna go for the end? He's going to the top rope. He's gonna fly, and he does. Scott rolling out of the ring, but Patrick's ready for him. Massive power bomb. There's the pin. Scott is out, and Diontalus manages to kick out at 2. I can't believe he is still alive in this match. Patrick fighting back, trying to build momentum. Every single one of these competitors fighting as hard as they can. Every match that follows for the winner is a one-on-one match. That means this is theoretically the hardest it's going to get towards heading for that title. They all want it. Just a rain of fists down on the Archfey of Chaos. Is that enough? No, only a 2. I can't tell if Diontalus kicked out or if Patrick interrupted, but either way, only a 2 count. Scott has Patrick up. Drops him off the top rope. And there's a taunt. Oh, but Diontalus caught Scott. A giant choke slam. Patrick ready, though. And this could do it. There it is. A choke slam to Scott. But Patrick sneaks in and steals a victory. I said don't count him out. And I absolutely meant it. Patrick, a vicious, vicious match. I don't know if Patrick was lucky getting to be in the triple threat match. Going against Scott and Diontalus, it certainly felt unlucky. But he has proven that it was a perfect spot for him. What an insane match that was. An insane start to things. The remainder of our matches tonight are going to be 1v1s Patrick going to move forward in this tournament. He will go on to face the winner of our next match, which we're going to go ahead. We got a lot of matches tonight. We're going to just move right along into it here. Congratulations to whoever picked Patrick. He was definitely the underdog on points, so I think you got a pretty good payout on that. I'm impressed. That was a hell of a showing. Our next match, the next bracket, we are going to see, again, keep in mind, this was all random. There's no seeding to this. There's no logic behind it. I literally used a website to just randomly create the brackets based on all the wrestlers. And in the case of Patrick, whoever got teamed up against me is the person who got selected to go into a triple threat match. And even that match, which match it was determined randomly. So that is what we are seeing. And as a result, our next match, I'm going to go ahead and put the prediction up right now, is going to be Garrett Weinzierl from Team GG going up against Vorel Rasvim Kurick from the Heroes of the Waste. So get your predictions in there. This is going to be standard rules, countouts possible, pinfall submission. And coming out first, we have Garrett Weinzierl, who has been seeking tag team gold with his grinding gear partner Kyle Fergusson. They have had a hard time getting it done, but they may find better success on their own. That has certainly been the case for Kyle, who has become the Dragon Beef champion. Garrett looking to make his mark now by winning this tournament and hopefully becoming the next Frog Pants champion. The way the brackets are, it is entirely possible if he wins and Kyle wins, they could face each other on the road to becoming champion. Garrett has certainly had opportunities. He had the best win-loss record of anyone in the organization for a very long time. He has squared off against Scott Johnson while he was the champion. Was never quite able to pull off a victory there, but certainly proved himself as having the opportunity. Will that all change now? His first obstacle on the road to the title, though, is a big one. He is going to have to go up against Vorel Rasvim Kurick, an interesting opponent for Garrett to have to face. For those that don't know, Vorel is based on his own teammate Kyle Ferguson's D&D character. And it would certainly be ironic if his quest for gold was shut down by his friend's creation.
competitor who does not know the meaning.
But it is certainly possible that that could happen here today.
Not too familiar with this one. What can you tell me about this guy, Corey?
Vorel showing his power right out of the gate. Garrett going after him, and Vorel just immediately shut him down. Let's take a look. Right now, about 50-50 on the points. More people believing Garrett will win, but more points behind Vorel.
But if he wants respect, it would do him good to win this matchup.
And Garrett is just lightning quick. Very agile fighter, loves high-risk maneuvers. And from across the ring, although a miss from Garrett, a misjudge on how far he was going to have to go, hurts himself. That is why they call them high-risk maneuvers. Did not let it phase him, though, and he's going to go for a pinfall. Vorel quick to kick out at one, and Garrett showing that agility, which I think is going to be what he needs to use if he is going to defeat someone as big and powerful as Vorel. Off the ropes, throws him. Garrett taunting the big lizard. You gotta be careful when you do that, though, because sometimes the lizard answers, and maybe a bit of an arrogant kick up from Garrett says that didn't phase me, and dares Vorel to do better. Vorel goes for it. Vorel's legs are so big, one leg drop is like having a tree fall on you. Twice now. And Vorel just waiting. Looks like he's stalking his prey, just letting Garrett get to his feet. Walks him to the corner. And Vorel has slowed things down to his pace. And now Vorel going to the top rope. And he's perched there. Oh, looks like he thought better of it. Saw Garrett get to his feet, run at him quick. Managed to save it. There's a pin. I thought we might already see a victory there. It doesn't take many hits from Vorel to put somebody down. And there's a choke slam. And he does. An insanely quick victory as Vorel puts Garrett down quick.
Here is your winner, the King, the Legend Killer, the Mighty, the Chosen One.
Unquestionably a big win here tonight. This is the product of
absolutely fast.
And he put them to use tonight.
That is what I was talking about. Garrett had agility, no doubt about it. But you have to act quick if you're going to go after Vorel. One punch from Vorel is like fighting an entire match against other people. And he proved it right there. That was absolutely a dominant performance. And I guess I feel bad for Patrick, who's going to be facing Vorel next week in the next round of matches. Absolutely brutal, but we're going to keep moving on. I thought this might take a while, but if we have more matches like that, we might be done early. We're gonna have to see what happens. This next match. Again, let's drive the point home. I repeat, I did not choose any of these matches. random chance chose these matches. But in this case, it has put together a fierce rivalry. Our next match, the next round in the tournament, is going to see Brian Dunaway of Core Red going up against Beau Schwartz of Core Blue. A grudge match for sure. Prediction is up. You can already vote. We're going to get this match underway. We're going to go right into it. Core Blue and Core Red have been at war, and we are finally going to see Red versus Blue in the tournament. It's going to happen right now. If you didn't know, now you know.
This is going to be good.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the Core from South Carolina, weighing in at 230 pounds, Brian Dunaway.
You can hear loud and clear just
Brian Dunaway
the universe feels about this individual.
is another competitor like Patrick. I think he gets overlooked. I think people have a tendency to think Brian Dunaway, he comes out, he's got a lot of energy. They think, what's he going to do? He did have a really bad win-loss record at the start,
Representing the Core,
but he wins a lot of matches.
weighing in at 269 pounds, the Rockstar, Caveman,
And guys, this looks to be a match with major implications.
He is going up against Core Blue's Beau Schwartz, a virtual reality warrior from the lands of Canada.
A competitor who always has his game face on, ready for a major battle.
This could certainly turn interesting. Everyone was compelled to participate in this tournament. We could have John versus Beau as our ultimate match if he's victorious here. Keep in mind, Beau fights in virtual reality. Sometimes a benefit, sometimes a hindrance. But Brian Dunaway, right out of the gate, taunting. Beau fighting back.
Take this superstar very far in the past. Yeah, but he's staring at someone who's shown a lot of hustle to be in this spot.
It's hard to say what Beau sees in virtual reality. Sometimes it's an advantage, sometimes like there. Maybe it's a distraction. And Brian Dunaway, there's two. Going for three. Gets him. Beau needs to keep his head in the game. He needs to keep his VR pass-through on. I don't know all the VR terms, but he needs to make sure he's focusing on the match if he wants to win this. Seems like he's figuring it back out, but a good reversal from Brian Dunaway. Beau back on his feet. Virtual reality headset intact. What is Beau planning? Slams him into the corner and throws him to the floor. Keep in mind, Beau has a lot of power in that VR headset, uses it like a weapon, uses it to predict his opponent's moves, but Brian Dunaway has a lot of power in the power glove. Beau seemed to be targeting it. There's our first pin. Gets a 2 before Brian Dunaway escapes. Beau definitely a unconventional fighter. Big knee, but he is currently in control of the match. Oh, but the quickness of Dunaway. Hard to keep him down. He moves so quick, turns things around. And he's going for a pin, trying to get a victory off of that. Only gets a 1. Quick headset adjustment. Beau's back in the game, but Dunaway drops him right on the headset. If that headset breaks, who knows what's going to happen. But Dunaway sees his opportunity, and a giant 619 right to the headset. Frogger splash off the ropes and gets the victory off of it. Another quick match and some hope for Core Red as Brian Dunaway brings it home off of the Frogger splash.
Here is your winner, Brian Dunaway.
The biggest problem, Brian knows Beau. He knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, and he targeted that VR headset. He knows that that can be the Achilles heel for Beau, and he certainly exploited it. Found a way through it. I'm sorry, people. This is the way it goes. People not happy. They're losing points tonight. I think you got to get better at voting, not voting with your heart. We'll say it that way. You gotta vote with your head, not your heart. Looking up strats and Nintendo Power, it's possible. It's definitely possible he might have been. For anybody wondering, we'll mention this while I get the next match set up. Anybody wondering what's going on with the women's roster? We had 8 matches tonight to get through the first round of the men's tournament. There is going to be a women's tournament as well. It will be starting next week as well. So we had more matches to get through tonight. So their tournament is going to be starting up next week, which coincidentally will bring the total to 8 matches next week as well. We're going into, hey, don't forget about Core Red, because Core Red still going to be participating. Our next match, let's get the prediction going, is going to see current Dragon Beef champion Kyle Fergusson going up against Core Red member Tom Merritt. Let's go ahead and get the prediction moving there as we get the match started here. Both of these strong competitors. This one should be a good match, although we've seen some quick matches tonight. I gotta tell you, people fighting through this. Kyle recently saw his creation defeat his friend. Now he is going to have to see if he can move forward as the only eligible member of GG at this point. You can see Kyle wearing the Dragon Beef Championship. If he wins here, if he goes all the way to the top, Kyle certainly has a chance at unifying the Dragon Beef Champion and the Frog Pants Championship. A very real possibility. Kyle very proud of the championship he has. Certainly wouldn't argue with more accolades. And he certainly has a strong opponent in this first round. A major hurdle to get over right out of the gate.
It's Mr. Money in the Bank.
Unrelenting CJ, thank you for the sub. Tom Merritt, the holder of the Frog Pants Championship Money in the Bank. Even if he loses here tonight, he has a path to the title. He can cash in at any time to create a match with the current champion. He has so far yet to do it. He is a part of Core Red. He disbanded his previous group, the Mod Syndicate, in order to join them. And it will be real interesting if Tom Merritt wins, because whoever wins this match goes on to face Brian Dunaway to proceed to the next round. So a win here for Tom Merritt will mean Core Red will be fighting itself in the next round. But first, he's got to get past Kyle.
Here's a superstar that has been making waves for weeks now. And
Tom Merritt coming out fighting. He is known as Ace D Technical. He knows a lot of submission moves. He's not afraid to use them. He would certainly be just as happy to make Kyle tap here as he would pin him.
Who isn't going to treat this like an exhibition?
But don't count him out. His repertoire isn't purely technical moves. He's got a lot of power to boot. Kyle with a good reversal, though. Big slaps from Tom. Fighting back, trying not to give Kyle an opportunity. A very viable strategy, much like his D&D character. Doesn't take much offense from Kyle to make you feel it. So Tom is looking to not give him that opportunity. And right now he is mocking Kyle, trying to stay in control. And so far he has been successful, looking to put it away early, only gets a 1. Kyle hanging in there, but rolls out of the ring. Over the top rope, and Kyle just moves out of the way. Lets the ground do the damage for him. Fighting on the outside here. Ref has begun his 10 count. A 10 count will disqualify. Somebody cannot answer it. Tom Merritt finding a way to be in control, but Kyle just shrugs off the kick. Big reversal from Tom. Ref is at 5. Tom gets back in the ring. Kyle heading back into the ring. Only hits a count of 6. And another strong reversal. And Tom Merritt looking to put him away right here. Gets a long 2 count. Tom has been absolutely dominant. Kyle has had a very hard time finding momentum. He gets a reversal here, looking to turn it into something. But he has struggled. And right now, I don't even know if Kyle knows where he is, trying to find some sort of momentum to fight back against Tom. And it looks like maybe he's found it. He's got Tom up on his shoulders, drops him right into that upper turnbuckle. And again, just picking him up. Drops him once on the back, twice on the back. And there's a pin. And just like I said, it doesn't take much for you to know you've been in a fight with Kyle. Kyle heading to the corner. He's going for it. He's going for it. The Nat 20. No, it gets reversed. Tom Merritt. They both missed. Kyle going for the Nat 20. Tom Merritt went for a punch. Neither of them landed it. That could have put Tom Merritt away right there. Kyle looking to end the match. And Tom now needing to recover. Kyle off the top, over the top ropes rather, right on top of Tom. Gets him up. Oh, nearly hits that hardest part of the ring. He does need to get him in the ring to win this, but right now he is absolutely dealing damage. And Tom Merritt went from having this in the bag to being way too aware that he is in a fight. Kyle deciding to get back in the ring. I don't think Tom will have a problem getting in before the 10 count, but Kyle is waiting for him. Tom quickly back to his feet, surprises Kyle in a slap. Tom looking to just stun Kyle, and it looks like it worked. Build a little momentum off of shocking your opponent. And it looks like it has worked, giving Tom a little measure of control. And Tom gets him up, drops him over the knee. He's got Kyle up on his back, drops him down. Kyle smart rolls out of the ring, but Tom going after him.
Just exhibiting their fearlessness, exhibiting guts and accuracy as well.
And the tables have turned once again. Kyle now finds himself in a similar predicament to what Tom was in just a moment ago. Oh, and Tom throws him right into the turnbuckle. Kyle struggling to get to his feet. Refs at 5. Count reset as Tom goes back outside of the ring. And it looks like Tom is going to try and use that unprotected bit of floor around the ring to deal extra damage. But that can be reversed, and Kyle quick to show him it can be dangerous. Oh, Kyle missed with the elbow. Tom stops himself to square off again, but Kyle has him up. What is he going to go for here? And there's into a pin. Gets a 2. Good reversal. Tom getting back in control. Here it is, the banhammer. And Tom using the banhammer, trying to win this off of it, and he does. Tom Merritt. A big back and forth. Manages to execute the banhammer and set Kyle down.
Here is your winner, HD Technical Tom.
Vegas won a very important match. Yep, that's what we call a good day at the office.
And that means we are going to see Core Red versus Core Red next week, as Tom Merritt moves forward to face Brian Dunaway. What will it mean when the two Core Red members meet in the ring? Are they going to fight for it? Are they going to share it? We are going to have to find out. But we are moving right along. We have another match to get to. We have several more matches to get to, so we got to keep this going. And we have another one that once again betrays the randomness of this event, as we are going to see two more teammates. Although they have certainly faced off against each other. I would call them antagonistic teammates going to be facing off against one another, as we are going to see Nash Maggard of the Solar Mines from the Heroes of the Waste go up against Stanley Billings from the Heroes of the Waste to see who is going to be dominant. We're going to get to that right now. You know, with a bit of frenemies. More friends than enemies, but they could certainly get on each other's nerves.
Because I'm the hottest. You wanna know?
I will say, I don't think Stanley would forgive himself if he lost to Nash Maggard. But just because he doesn't like it doesn't mean it won't happen.
Weighing in at 206 pounds.
Nash Maggard of the Solar Mines is the grossest human being on the planet. For those who don't know the backstory here, we do have a few D&D characters on the roster. Nash Maggard is Scott Johnson's very own D&D character.
This is a match he's craved for quite some time. He's ready and raring to go.
A disgusting pustule of a human being. Looking to get a victory here. And he couldn't be more different than his opponent, though. They have been and are on teams together. From the grossest of the gross to, well, to the pretty boy, Stanley Billings. Once again, if you don't know the backstory, our third D&D character of the night, this one, my D&D character.
Weighing in at 219 pounds, pretty boy Stanley Billings.
I'm going to come right out and say it. Yes, this athlete takes great appreciation in their own in-ring performances, but it doesn't make them a bad person.
Who says it does? But on that topic, they're not my cup of tea. Actually, a little more like a cup of raw sewage, if we're being perfectly honest.
Stanley recently did face off against Nash Maggard in a tag team tournament where he, instead of teaming with his allies, the Heroes of the Waste, he teamed with Diontalus. So, fighting his allies, he is certainly no stranger to. These two have fought, and not long ago at that.
He's physically and mentally prepared for the task at hand in this big-time match.
He did fix his cape. His cape is de-starched, or whatever he needed to do, he did it. Now we're gonna see these two square off here.
We're looking at a man who is sick of the doubters, sick of being questioned about his potential, and I can't disagree with him.
Stanley going right after Nash.
And prove to be the future of this company. It will be a tall order, but the confidence he possesses
Daring him.
will take him very far.
Going after him.
Looking to put him in his place here tonight. This guy's been saying all week how he's going to prove a point in this match tonight.
They are
Oh,
friends.
this is just vicious. Oh, that'll break his arm. Vicious.
But Stanley viciously mocking Nash Maggard of the Solar Mines and maybe got a little too distracted. He certainly did not think Nash would be getting up that quickly. And Nash capitalizing on Stanley's arrogance here. Stanley fighting back, though. Certainly needs to learn to respect Nash, though the arrogance still showing here. Nash trying to grab him. Stanley almost wormed away, but got caught in the end. And Nash Maggard going after him. Stanley with a good reversal just throws Nash to the side. And looks like he was... My goodness. Just gets him, drops him right on his head with a version of a pile driver. Stanley still finding some unconventional ways to deal out damage. Slams Nash to the mat. And there it is, a little bit of diplomacy. And will Stanley win with it? No, Nash Maggard with a kick out. Diplomacy not quite able to get the job done. But Stanley still after him. Stanley going to the top rope. See what he's got planned here. Nash down, but Nash rolls out of the way. Once again, Stanley trying to move quick, trying to get out of there, but Nash catches him just a little bit quicker. And finding a way to fight back. And off the top, he bounces back. He's got him. Gets another 2 count, and Stanley doing everything he can to try and put Nash away. Thinks about it. Maybe in character, decides better than to risk himself. Decides to climb out. Took a little too long, though. Gave Nash an opportunity. And Nash just squeezing his head. Drops him to the ground.
This match grinded him down a little.
Sends Nash into the steps. And another taunt. More vicious mockeries being thrown here. Stanley getting back into the ring. Doesn't want to get counted out. Taunting Nash Maggard, daring him to get in the ring. And Stanley decides to reset the count and just go out there. He can't wait. That impatience might have cost him, though. Nash was ready. And now Nash Maggard in control. And drops Stanley head first. Stanley has gone face to face with the hardest part of the ring, as I understand. I asked chat to confirm that for me. If you all can just fact check, I believe that is considered the hardest part of the ring. And we're at 5. And it looks like Nash Maggard may be trying to get a count-out victory. Not quite enough, though. Stanley heads right back in, right as Nash looks like he's coming back out. Another off the ropes. I did get confirmation from the chat. It is the hardest part of the ring. They checked.
Saving us from having to sit through that.
And Nash Maggard finding a little momentum here, trying to get a victory. Only gets a 1. Stanley struggling to his feet, but Nash has found some momentum. And Stanley kicks out at 2. A choke bomb nearly putting him down. Stanley fighting back, though, trying to build more momentum. A DDT right to his face. And Stanley daring Nash to get up, but he misses. Another reversal. And a crossface. Will Nash tap? Stanley trying to get Nash Maggard to tap out and quit. Looks like Nash is trying to get free. He manages it.
I have to say, I feel like we are just one move away from claiming a winner in this one. One more move or one more miss. He can end it here.
And Nash trying to get it. Will he do it? No. Stanley kicking out at 1, but Nash back in control. Series of punches in the middle of the ring. Throwing Stanley, showing strength that betrays how he appears. Nash Maggard finding it, although diplomacy again. A second bout of diplomacy and another kick out. Stanley cannot believe that diplomacy has failed twice. And Stanley flying to the outside, leveling Nash Maggard to the Solar Mines. And Nash, look, anybody who looks the way Nash does can take a lot of abuse, and that is being proven right here. From the top, he hit him. Didn't look like he got all of them, but it looks like he hit him. Stanley going for it again, and a reversal from Nash. Nash back in control. And another choke bomb for the win. I'm upset. Nash Maggard from behind pulls off a victory over Stanley Billings. Unheard of. Unheard of. It was Stanley's match to lose. And unfortunately, he found a way to do it. Nash Maggard finds a path to victory. Certainly an upset if the points are to be believed. As Nash moves forward in this tournament, the winners of our next round will be facing off against Nash Maggard of the Solar Mines. Look, Stanley let me down too. I'm disappointed. I expected more from Stanley. I'm genuinely, you create a D&D character so perfectly. To see your creation brought so low by Nash Maggard of the Solar Mines. How dare we reach this point? It's just not fair. I don't like to throw around it's not fair terms, but it's simply not fair. We're going to find out who will be facing Nash Maggard of the Solar Mines, though. Our next match. Two, I would consider them almost underdogs. Two frequently underappreciated superstars. We are going to see Brian Ibbott versus Marc Spagnuolo. Now, Marc recently had a shot at the Frog Pants Championship. He earned that by being the first person to defeat Scott Johnson in a non-title match. John gave him a title opportunity in recognition of this, but he was not quite able to do it. He was defeated the same way as Scott with the slow-mo Final Fantasy kick. Now he looks to climb back up the mountain. The first step on that journey, though, is this man, Brian Ibbott, who you can see is sporting gold of his own, one half of the TMS Tag Team Champions.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing Money Incorporated from Denver, Colorado, weighing in at 230 pounds, one half of the Internet's Tag Team Champions, Marvelous Brian. The WWE Universe already reaching a fever pitch upon
Brian Ibbott has seen a lot of success in the tag team division.
Word is that the champ was actually asking for this to be a title match, but the officials backstage wouldn't allow it. That is how
He is, he was the first holder of the TMS tag title, held it with Scott Johnson, then went on to hold it with Tom Merritt, now holds it currently with Tanner Goodman.
From New Jersey, weighing in at 235 pounds.
So his pedigree in the tag team division is well known, but he has not had as much success selling people on an individual level. This could change tonight, but he's got to go through Marc Spagnuolo, who at least last time we checked was on a real tear. As Chad says, muscles carved from a 1,000-year-old oak. Marc Spagnuolo is certainly a terrifying visage to have to go up against. Right now, the points favoring Brian Ibbott. However, the people backing Marc Spagnuolo. More people think Marc will win this, but people more daring supporting Brian Ibbott. We'll have to see how it all turns out. The match gets ready to get underway here. Two major powerhouses.
Relax going into this match, don't you think, guys? Well, the relief of not putting your title on the line certainly has to help, Michael. All I know is that with or without the title, full focus is...
And Marc quickly taking control of the match. And he's got a submission hold on Brian. Now, Brian is not a small guy. That is a lot of power. That is the strength of Marc Spagnuolo. But Brian gets free and makes him pay. You know, when it comes to frog wrestling, these two are definitely two of the bigger and stronger powerhouses in the division. And Brian Ibbott just unleashing a series of blows and a kick. He continues to try to build that momentum. And he's not stopping. Brian Ibbott, giving no quarters, just says, I'll do it. Marc quick to his feet, though, despite the beatdown. And Marc looking to make him pay. And Marc says, that isn't enough. Get up. I got more for you. But Brian Ibbott sends him flying. Huge punch right to the ear, but a reversal. Marc gets back in, but Brian Ibbott has recovered and is ready for him.
He's lost some of his wind now.
Brian Ibbott being a bit methodical here. Just absolutely earning a reputation as a bruiser and a brawler in this. Just targeted blows, all to Marc's head. These sort of tactics have served him well in the tag team division. But a reversal, and now Marc is gonna make him pay with a series of punches of his own. Says, you do it to me, I'll do it to you. Brian Ibbott gets out of there before any more can happen, but Marc is ready for him. He gets back in the ring. Brian Ibbott escapes, and he's back in control. And there it is, the Coverville. I thought Brian Ibbott had it right there, catching Marc Spagnuolo with the Coverville, surprising him with it.
He's taking this to the floor now.
Now Brian Ibbott has him on the outside here. Oh my gosh, and just catches him with a punch. Absolutely brutal. We haven't seen Brian Ibbott this vicious in a while. You know, he's been a successful tag team champion. He hasn't really had an opportunity to stand on his own in Frog Wrestling. If he keeps fighting with this level of fire, though, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it. And nearly gets a 3.
Are you kidding me?
Ryan Ibbott just dishing out pain here. Marc, good reversal, and answers. Looking to build the momentum back to his side. He's got to get a breather. This would do it. Massive power bomb. And Marc is not done. He picks Ibbott back up, gets him up, drops him. My goodness. And just chops him down like a tree. And that will do it. Marc Spagnuolo proving that he is still a threat. Brian Ibbott dominant for a lot of that match. And then just a quick reversal. Drops him like a tree. The Wood Whisperer himself.
Definitely earning those accolades with that win. A win like that proved he is not messing around. That match was all business from him, Corey, and that worked.
What a match. He will go on to face Nash, Maggard of the Solar Mines, and look, I don't know who's going to win. We're going to have to see. The AI will decide these things, but if I was Nash Maggard, I would be a little afraid that after seeing that. That's just my take on it. That's my 2 cents on it. Up next, we are going to head to what will be the bottom of the brackets here. We've got 2 more matches for you this evening. The first match duo that we have here is going to be Randy Jordan versus Spider Ben Bumhoffer. We're going to go ahead and get that prediction up right now. You know, Randy made a name for himself, was a longtime holder of the TMS tag titles, along with Patrick Beja. Ben, former Dragon Beef champion, lost the belt recently to Kyle Fergusson, has had a feud with Dan Patriss.
The following contest is scheduled
That was put to bed
making his way to the ring
on New Year's Eve.
weighing in at 275 pounds, Randy Jordan.
This competitor is one of the most dedicated and fair people I've ever met. They take their matches very seriously.
Saxton, this isn't a place for seriousness. It's a place for all-out combat. They should try loosening their tie a little bit.
Randy Jordan, a chef on his way to the ring and a butcher in it. We're going to have to see what he can do.
The competition level has never been higher, but this guy's ready to prove he can hang.
As Chad has pointed out, we do have a Sam Raimi Spider-Man recreation here in the form of Randy does use the Macho Man Randy Savage's moves. We got Spider-Ben heading to the ring. I think Bonesaw might be ready, but is this Bonesaw's chance for revenge?
I love how this person approaches their matches with dignity and honest respect for their opponent.
Oh, too bad this isn't a friendliness competition. It's a fight, and I don't think that attitude's going to do him any favors in there.
And we have Ben, who was in our last match before we went on break. It was the most requested match by you all. You all wanted to see Ben versus Dan finally settle the score in the Hell in a Cell. Ben did not win that match. And as far as I'm concerned, that put to bed their rivalry. Dan came out ahead. No controversy to it, but spoilers, we haven't seen Dan yet tonight, which means he's in the next match, which means if Ben wins here and Dan wins next, that rivalry might be heating right back up.
This superstar is quite the buzz behind him going into this match.
And for good reason.
Randy, though,
One of the most fearless and determined superstars
might be with the YouTube commenters and not want to see that happen. He's immediately putting Ben
acts like he has nothing to lose.
to his paces, dropping him onto the top rope.
That mindset is always dangerous.
Gets him by the arm, delivering a series of kicks, and just drops him right back down. Randy can certainly be vicious in the ring. And look at the power of that knee, spun him all the way around.
Up in the leg. And he's just having his way in this match. Yeah, it's one attack after the other with him.
Randy more than happy to dish out the pain.
Back of the neck.
Ben having a hard time finding the momentum here, as Randy is just lying in wait and sends him to the outside.
Buckle now.
Randy can be absolutely surgical in the way he attacks his opponents, but Ben ready for him, much like a spider, waiting for Randy on the outside. Just a spring on him.
Whip back into the ring.
Ben circling the outside. Randy trying to get at him as Ben gets in the ring, gets tied up on the referee though. We saw Randy now trying to be aggressive, but it didn't work, although Ben gets caught. The power of Randy just shut down any offense Ben had. Ben has to get back on the outside to collect himself. He heads back in, this time Randy ready for him, but Ben with a good reversal, fighting back, trying to find that momentum.
With a suplex. Heading up, he's thinking big.
Ben's gonna fly. Lands it, going for a pinfall. Gets a 2 count from it, a long 2 count.
It's huge.
And Ben showing that it is not just agility, it's also about powers. He just tosses Randy. Randy goes to the outside, Ben follows.
Gotta be mindful of the
I don't know what Randy was expecting, but Ben was ready for him. Came out on top as soon as he exited the ring. Big scoop slam. Dropping him right on the floor. And another.
This is an incessant attack being brought
And,
to him. He's gotta boost up his
we
levels
said
of
Randy was being methodical, but Ben absolutely delivering in that same regard. Targeting the back on the floor out there. As the ref counts, Ben might be going for a count-out victory here. A bit of a hollow victory, but a victory is a victory. They are at 6, and they are still outside of the ring. We are getting into dangerous territory. 7 and still not done. And there's a reversal. This gets risky.
It's time for fighting back.
The referee is at 8, and Ben's plan may have backfired. They get in just in time.
Time to attack when his guard is down.
Off the ropes. Randy waiting for him, picks him up, drops him right back. And is already ready to follow it back up. More punches to the head.
My God.
Methodical blows.
Finds a counter.
But Ben fighting back.
Right to the gut.
He says, you want to throw hands? Let's throw hands.
Look at this. Just unbelievable.
Just answering it.
Oh, a nasty stop to finish it off.
And a big kick. Ben's down. Randy looking to capitalize, going after the arm, going after the face. And they are just trading blows at this point. And Ben looks stunned, crawling to the ropes. Randy just eyeballing him. And here's a taunt. Going up, going over. Ben's back up, but Randy isn't done. Oh, but a reversal. More blows. Big body blows to the stomach. Brian Dunaway rating right now. Hey, Dunaway, welcome. Congratulations, you won your match earlier. You're moving on. You're going to be fighting Tom Merritt next week. Right now, Ben, though, in control of Randy. Randy down on the ground, rolling out of the ring, trying to stay alive. Ben, is he going to go high risk? No, he thinks better of it. I can't blame him. That's a long way down. And Ben's waiting for him back in the ring. Randy staggering. Ben trying to find some momentum here. Randy's done a good job of attacking, but Ben might have an opportunity here. Sends Randy down to the outside. And throws him right back in the ring. Ben trying to decide what to do. Waits a little too long, though, because Randy is back in control. Nope, Ben with a reversal. And Ben's going to go for a win right here. No, gets only a 2 count. Randy is hanging in there. But Ben is not done. Huge power bomb. Ben has a plan. Dropping him right back to the mat. And just a drop to the knee. Ben's getting fired up. I don't know what he's looking to do. But Randy back to his feet. Ben knocks him right back down. And Ben daring him, get back up, gonna plant you back down. He's going for a pin. This could be it. No, Randy with another 2 count, and Ben can't believe it. Ben has had such a good comeback here. He's thinking, I did it. He can't believe he isn't down yet. And there it is. The super power bomb. Super spirit bomb. And that will do it. Randy bleeding. Ben gets a victory. And moving on to the next round in the tournament. Sadly, that is going to be the end of Randy's journey in this tournament.
Here is your winner, the Spider Ben.
A statement victory by this guy tonight.
And for those of you that were sick of the Dan-Ben rivalry, well, Dan Patriss is going to be in our final match of the night, going up against Tanner Goodman. And if Dan wins, that rivalry might have another chapter. We thought we were done, but there might be one more chapter to go. This does mean we are to our final match of the tournament here tonight. And for the evening, we are going to see Geek Jock Dan Patriss going up against Tanner Goodman, one half of the TMS Tag Team Champions. And this will give us a perfectly good look at what we can expect next week. We'll be able to see what the full brackets are going to look like. Also, the women's tournament will start next week as well. So let's get the predictions up. If you got points, bet them. Dan or Tanner. Dan has been on a real winning streak, but again, Tanner is one half of the TMS Tag Champs. Don't count him out.
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Long Island, New York, weighing in at 241 pounds,
Dan Patriss has been caught up in matches with Ben for months. This is his first chance to step outside of that rivalry and climb the ladder for himself, and he certainly has the skills to do it. Dan has been very impressive. Although a win here does put him right back in contention with Ben. But before he gets to that, he's got to go up against former Mod Syndicate member Tanner Goodman.
And his opponent, representing Money Incorporated from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in at 300 pounds, one half of the Internet's Tag Team Champions, Hammer Goodman.
You're looking at some highly motivated competitors.
And Tanner Goodman,
Steal the show and capture the attention of the
his tag team partner, didn't manage to get it done. He's looking to continue that forward. Might end up being a blessing, though. He could have ended up having to face him. When am I going to come play Unreal Tournament with us? Asked Dunaway in the chat. I am always down for Unreal Tournament. I love Unreal Tournament.
Here's a superstar that has been making waves.
Low grav, insta jib on Facing Worlds is my jam.
He took a non-title match because he knows that he has what it takes, and he's looking to prove
And Tanner, a little arrogant out of the gate. And Dan looking to capitalize on it. Picks him up, puts him right back down. Big running knee. And Dan in control so far. And I think he has absolutely caught Tanner off guard. It has been all Dan out of the gate. Tanner with a good reversal, though, finding a way to get out of there. Tanner, once again, maybe a little arrogant out of the gate. Dan ready for him. Gets him in a submission hold. And I think Tanner's foot is touching the ropes, but not on it enough to lock it in. He does manage to escape, though. Let's take a look at the predictions, see where we're at. We're nearly 50-50, though, people favoring Tanner to win this match. And he might right here, going for a pinfall, only gets a 1 count.
At this point has got to say something.
Tanner answers with a DDT. Dan fighting to get back to his feet. Throws Tanner into the corner and a big right hand for him. Oh, and he just grinds Tanner's face against the ropes. Another big punch knocks him down. Dan being absolutely methodical and maybe even a little too brutal with this. Oh, misses with a punch, though. Maybe a little overeager. He is one of our newer members on the roster. He's been a formidable opponent, but he is still a little green, and I realize that that's a bit of a pun, but true nonetheless. And Dan taunting him over the top rope.
That is the attitude of a daredevil. The ability to take risk with
Tanner moving out of the way. Tanner brings him down. Dan went face first into the ground hard. Looks like he's bleeding. And Tanner finding an opportunity here. Seems like Dan got hurt pretty bad on that. Dan trying to fight back out of it. Got him up, throws him back in the ring at the 5 count. No danger of a count out here. Gets back in the ring. Tanner's ready for him, though. And Tanner going for a pin, looking for a victory here. Gets a 1, gets a 2.
The end was in sight. Hooked up.
And Tanner is really pulling out all the stops here, fighting hard for that opportunity at the championship.
And he sends him into the corner.
He started a little disrespectful of his opponent, but he has found that respect now. And he is unloading on Dan. He's pulling out every maneuver he can think of and focusing on that arm.
The fight is being brought right to him. He's
3, just targeting it. Dan manages a reversal. I don't know if he was going to go for a 4th, but Dan says, I'll pay you back.
Right onto the arm.
Oh, that'll weaken your arm.
And Dan absolutely making Tanner pay for every maneuver and then some. And now targeting the leg. And it looks like Dan is wanting to win this right here. He's got Tanner up, drops him down. And with Tanner's own move, Dan pulls out a victory. And for all those of you that thought the Marvel versus DC rivalry of Ben versus Dan was done, well, apparently they got one more in the tank. We're going to see the follow-up to that next week.
You cannot say they didn't give it their all and then some to achieve this victory. The reward definitely seems greater than the risk right about now, but we'll see how they feel once they get back to the locker room and hit the showers.
My goodness, what a match. What a series of matches that we had here tonight. Real quick, I'm going to go down the list here so we can get a good picture of what we're looking at next week. Before we go, our first match, we had Patrick pull off what certainly seemed like an upset. He's going to go on to face Vorel, Rasvim, Kurick in the next round. We had Brian Dunaway, who's here in the chat right now, pull off a victory over Beau. He's going to go on to face his own teammate in Core Red, Tom Merritt, next week. We had Nash Maggard pull what I have to say is the greatest upset of our generation against Stanley Billings. He's going to be going up against Marc Spagnuolo. We'll see if he can pull off another miracle. And Ben Bumhoffer and Dan Patriss continue their rivalry. That's what you have to look forward to next week. In addition to the start of the women's tournament, the same deal. It's all randomly picked. It's all randomly assigned. And one of the matches is a surprise triple threat match. What that looks like is all going to be a next week thing, though. For this week, thank you, everybody, for joining me, for everybody who subbed, who followed, who threw bits. If you're watching on YouTube, for those of you who like the video and subscribe, thank you very much. And I will catch you next week for more Frog Wrestling. Till then, bye, everybody.